let's go into a little Ask JP questioning. Today's question from Christian in Australia, all about procrastination and why that is. I love it. Christian says, how come when I need to do important things like write my website copy, I just can't? I literally get this jittery energy and I just feel like getting up, walking away from the computer. I want to do anything else. Even though I like writing copy, bear with me in my reading skills here, because I'm good at it. And it's something creative and it needs to be done. It's so annoying that I can't just sit down and do it like I need to. I didn't read all the F words Christian inserted in there just to keep this a little bit PG-13 rated. But I love the passion that Christian writes. So the true procrastinator never puts off till tomorrow what they can put off till the day after tomorrow. Ha ha. But Christian, and I think all of us, Christian, can relate to your question. How come I can't help myself? There's something I want to do, something that I enjoy doing, something that I need to do. But part of me just blocks me from doing it. Why is that? So Christian, I, of course, don't have your exact answer. I think that's something only found in the Da Vinci Code of your own self. But I'd like to give you a little bit of food for thought as possible combinations to the cracking of your mystery. So if we all consider when we have procrastination going on, there's something we want to accomplish. So we don't need to create ambition. I mean, part of us really wants to do whatever the task is, write the copy on my website. What we need to ask ourselves is, what's going on with the part of me that's blocking me? Oh, what's the agenda that this blocking saboteur part of me carries? So, Christian, a first consideration I'd ask you to ponder is the part of you that blocks you from this. What will its purpose be once the copy's written? Can you define it? And you say, well, I don't know. Well, I would ask you, make sure to define what will my purpose be once the copy's written. I would guess that with your website, you're going into a little bit of a mystery. You're expanding yourself. You're putting a new website out there. You're going into uncharted territory, so you don't necessarily know what's next. So is it possible that this sabotaging part of you keeps you stuck in the zone of familiarity because it's comfortable and it knows what its purpose is? My purpose is to need to write copy. The more I need to write copy without actually writing it, the more significant I become. The more attention I get from other parts of Christian psyche. It's just like if you imagine a little kid at home, he's being told, go clean your room. He's like, yeah, I'll do that. A couple hours later, you need to go clean your room. Yeah, I'm just about to do it. And then he starts getting more and more criticism and orders from mom and dad. Go clean your room. The child's purpose has become, I get to be significant. I get to be the center of attention the more I don't do what you tell me to do. So this part of you has purpose the more it doesn't write your copy. And all of us want purpose. It's part of our innate humanity. So that's why I ask you, the first consideration, define what will the purpose be for you, for this part of you, once the copy's written. Whatever you're defining that is will be brilliant. And then you can also notice the language of Christian's question. Yeah, I need to do it. I can't just sit down and do it like I need to. Very interesting sort of critical parent language. So the next consideration for Christian and all of us who have our version of procrastination is, how am I getting my needs met through defiance? More accurately stated, how is part of me getting its needs met through defiance? So if you sort of divorce yourself from the literal experience of computer, me, want to get this done, and start thinking of the intangible realms of your inner world, what if the defiant part of you is much like a child? And the other part of you that's ambitious wants your website written. What if that's more like the Father? And your child self says, I learned to get my emotional needs met. I learned to feel a sense of power by being defiant to my Father. And I will make another part of me into my Father. How I perceive the orders, the commands, feels like it's coming from Dad. So I'll be defiant to that because it's a familiar way that I found a sense of power, says the defiant inner child. So Christian, I would ask you directly, what is something in your relationship with your Father that you are defiant to? Some food for possible thought. Please pause this and pay attention to your own thoughts before you pay more attention to mine. I would ask you to consider, are you still defiant to how much your Father matters to you? Are you still defiant to how much you need your Father? Some of us will be more defiant to what Dad actively says. We'll be more defiant to his behavior. But the question directly for you, for reasons I don't understand, it just feels right, is to ask you, are you defiant to how much you need your Father? That is, how much your inner child part needs your Father. If that's actually an occurrence inside of you, as long as it's resisted, as long as you don't notice it, I'm blind to that. Yeah, I might need my Father, but I don't think so. You're resisting the reality, perhaps. If that's true, the symptoms of your resistance will persist in your external life. Hence, you notice defiance coming up in your relationship to your computer work. That is, your ambitious adult self starts to maybe look and feel like a father figure to your inner child. So I would ask you to consider some of that reconciliation. And then a little bit more superficially, I would invite you to do your best to change your language from, I need to do this, I have to do this, to more of an invitation. Part of me would like to do this. Another part of me just wants to go out and play. It maybe takes a little bit of the emotional charge off of it. One other consideration for now, and Christian, I think we could dance for days and days just off of the volumes of wisdom that come off of your question. But just briefly, the next consideration would be, how are you addicted to shame? How are you addicted to anger? If you are addicted to shame and anger, by the way, most of us would say, that doesn't make sense. Why would I be addicted to shame and anger? Those are crappy things. They don't feel good. They don't help me. Well, no addictions help us. We typically get addicted to substances or emotional substances that aren't really uplifting. So with that said, we see perhaps the symptoms of an anger and shame addiction playing out. Part of you uses defiance to your website as essentially the syringe. The more I defy my website, the more I have a syringe to fill up with shaming myself. I inject that right into my butt cheek. So, I shame myself. I should have done this website by now. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just do this? Says the injected shame. And then there's the other syringe with anger. You just notice, how angry do you get at yourself? So I'd ask you to take a look at your lifeline. When in your life Did you get swamped with shame and overwhelmed with anger and stuck in it? Reason why us as human beings would be addicted to shame or addicted to anger is because once upon a time, my opinion is, my experience is, we got swamped with it, we got overwhelmed in it, therefore we got stuck in it, therefore we got addicted to the familiar experience of being stuck in it, because being stuck was our original way to deny the reality of how ashamed we felt and how angry we felt. So with that said, Christian, there's some food for thought, and I know this actually, this food for thought is very intangible food. We're not asking you to take a look at your thumb and what's your thumb doing. No, we're not asking you to look at things that you can see, smell, hear, taste, and feel. We're asking you to look at intangible parts of your heart and your mind that at best you can be sensitive to emotionally. This is hard work because it's not things we can see. We'll never have clear evidence. Yes, that's true for me, JP. Or no, that's not true for me, JP. So I'd invite you to stoke the fires of your curiosity, look inward. And for the rest of us, I hope you ignored how I was talking to Christian and paid attention to how I was talking to your version of procrastination and self-sabotage. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm going to look forward to next time. Please feel free to send me questions that you have. Best way is my Facebook page. You'll see the link for that below. Look forward to talking with you soon.